This episode is a little shout out to Ginger and her family. Ginger is a young, high energy dog, and her people told me that their grandkids are coming to visit. The kids are excited, but they're also a little nervous because they've always been afraid of dogs. And that's not unusual at all. In fact, when you think about it, a 2-year-old dog with big zoomies can feel like a giant to a child. Even if the dog is friendly, it can still feel like too much. When you're in that situation, the goal isn't to convince the kids to suddenly love the dog. The goal is to make the whole experience safe, calm, and most of all, optional. Kids need to feel like they have control, and the dog shouldn't feel pressured either. So one of the easiest ways to help is to give your kids the height advantage. If they're sitting on a porch step, in a chair, or even on the tailgate of a truck, the dog won't tower over them. From there, you can even turn it into a little training game. The kids can ask the dog to sit, and once the dog does, they can drop the treat down. No reaching, no grabbing, and the dog learns to approach politely while the kids stay in charge of the moment. And another helpful setup is using barriers like a baby gate or playpen. That way, the dog can come closer if they want, but the kids don't feel trapped. And sometimes it's less intimidating to toss a treat over a gate than to have a wet nose pressed up against you. It also helps to make sure the dog has burned off a little bit of energy before the kids come over. A dog that's been cooped up all day is going to come out like a cannonball. So a nice walk, a sniff session, or even a little playtime makes the dog a little calmer and hopefully a little easier to handle. It's also a good idea to practice polite greetings ahead of time. Reinforce the dog for keeping 4 paws on the floor or sitting calmly with the adults before any of the kids are involved. That way you're not trying to train the dog and comfort the children all at the same time. And games are another great bridge. And fetch works especially well. But the trick is to always give the kids 2 toys. So when the dog brings one back, the kid throws the second toy. They never have to reach into the dog's space or risk getting pulled into a game of tug-of-war. The dogs have fun and the kids feel safe. Now, this might surprise people, but sometimes adult dogs are actually easier for kids than puppies. Puppies nip, they mouth, they don't always have their jumping under control, and that can make them seem scarier than a calm adult dog. If kids are going to interact with a puppy, it's usually best to keep the puppy on a leash the entire time so you can manage the excitement and prevent things from getting overwhelming. And sometimes the best first step is to let the dog just exist in the same space. Maybe the kids are drawing, blowing bubbles, or eating a snack, and the dog is simply lying nearby. When the dog isn't the center of attention, kids often relax and the dog becomes part of the background instead of something they have to brace for. So if you have kids and dogs in your life, remember that introductions don't have to be big, dramatic events. The calm, simple moments where kids feel in control and the dog feels safe are what build trust. And that's the kind of memory that can last for years. So Ginger's humans, if you're listening, you have to let us know how the introductions went and exactly what you did to make the grandkids feel safe while allowing them to meet Ginger.